Live with Wayne Simmonds today here at the Blue Cross Blue Shield Fearless Family Zone at KeyBank Center. One of the newest Sabres and one who's no stranger to this area, having grown up in Toronto and I'm sure made frequent visits over the years. Did you have a favorite in Buffalo memory from your playing career before you landed here with the Sabres?
To be honest, I don't. Most of the time I played here was when I was really young, so I don't even remember it too much.
All right, but you've had quite a journey in the NHL. What's the takeaway from all the places that you've played prior to getting here?
Just enjoy the ride. You're playing in the NHL, you don't have much to complain about, so you kind of just got to take in every moment and, just appreciate it.
What was it like starting in LA?
It's pretty cool. I think as a 20-year-old kid, I played in junior. I was in Owen Sound and Sault Ste. Marie, so two smaller communities, and then, to get thrust into Los Angeles, California, it was a lot different than where I came from.
Did you have good mentors there in LA at that time?
Yeah, we had a great group of older guys. Sean O'Donnell, Matt Green, Rob Scuderi, Jarrett Stoll. That's just to name a few. Michael Hanzus. So those guys, they made sure they took care of us. And, they taught us the right way.
Zeus have the long flow
then? Yeah. It's so funny because I came in, he had the long flow, and I had the opportunity of playing on a line with him, and he taught me a lot of good stuff. And I think our second year he cut it off, and I came in for training camp, and I was like, "Who's the new guy?" It was Zeus. It was so funny, but yeah.
And then what an experience for you in Philadelphia. I mean, obviously people in Buffalo, there have been so many Buffalo Phillies series over the years, and I think I would probably be speaking for a lot of the market here that when fans looked at Philadelphia, it was like, we need a guy like Wayne Simmonds. What was it like wearing that Flyer uniform?
It was great. Like I said, I just embraced it. I got traded there in the summertime after my third season, and I didn't know what to expect. I had never really been to Philadelphia before, and I got there and I got such a warm welcome. I think just because the style of player I was. Philly's a heart and soul type of town, and I think I embodied kind of how the town felt. So it was great for me.
It was much talked about when you arrived here in Buffalo, just how quickly things have changed for you as far as different teams in such a short period of time. Now that you've had a couple of weeks to breathe, although you're playing all the time, so it's not like you have a lot of downtime, how have you been able to settle in and feel comfortable here in the closing month of the year?
Yeah, I think I've settled in pretty well. Anytime you go into, a new locker room, obviously I think you're a little shy at first, but the guys were extremely welcoming here. It took me probably 3-4 days to feel really comfortable. It's a great group of guys in there, and I've really enjoyed my time here so far.
How much pressure is there, though, when you're walking into, in all honesty, a bit of a desperate situation as far as trying to make that push at the end?
I think there's pressure, but at the same time, you got to embrace it. You got to enjoy what you're doing. We're playing a game. At the end of the day, it's what we all love to do. So, I think you just got to come in and put an honest effort forth and, just enjoy it.
Beauty of Facebook Live, interacting with the fans. Questions coming in, including one from Anthony. Have you made any good friends on the team yet?
Yeah. I actually, Oak Poso, I've rode with him quite a bit. We talk a lot. I sit beside Rhino and Larry, so... that's just to name a few. Obviously, I've been speaking with everybody quite a bit. So
Larry's always a good talking point for us. Well, how would you describe him?
He's awesome. I think playing against him, he's one of those guys that you hate to play against, but then when you actually meet him, you love him. Yeah. So he's been great.
Very good. And obviously, Kyle had actually mentioned that. True that you guys spend some time together in the off season?
Well, there's a lot of skating and hockey stuff being done, Toronto. So every time I go to the rink, he's usually there. So, I always see him, talk to him. I actually know him through friends. So I remember we were both in the All-Star game in 2017 in LA. Right. My wife, his wife, a couple other friends, Jonathan Quick, Tavares. We all had dinner and spent the night. So it was good getting to know him then, and obviously it's great continuing that now.
Boy, what an experience that must have been for you, having started your career in LA, to come back there as an All-Star.
Yeah, that was great. It's one of those things where you can't really believe it. It just kind of happened, and then 3 days after, kind of just sitting there like, did that really happen? So it was a really good experience.
And I think Kyle was almost in a little bit of the same boat at that point in time, right? I mean, he was transitioning here, and I mean, it was a big honor for him to represent this team.
Right.
I think sometimes the outside world looks a little too harshly at the All-Star game, but sometimes doesn't appreciate what you can get as a player and a veteran player out of it.
Yeah, I think the All-Star game is obviously it's a great experience. I think for me, I've been one time, and just getting the chance to be, on the ice with, some of the game's greatest stars, like obviously being in the Metro Division, Sidney Crosby, Alexander Ovechkin, those are two of the greatest players to ever play this game, and I was sitting next to them, so that was pretty cool.
All right, more questions. How's working with Coach Kruger been? Adam offers that.
It's been awesome. Ralph is, he's a really honest guy, really down to earth, and he's a great teacher. So I've really enjoyed him so far.
What's it been like over all the years with the different coaches? Is there an easy takeaway from all the coaches you've had?
Every coach is different. Every coach has their methods of how, they come across and how they present things to you. I think with Ralph, he's extremely calm, and it's black and white. There's no in the middle, and he really explains it to you. I think he's a great teacher. I think that's how you could put it.
Very cool. All right, standard Buffalo questions that we get in this often. Have you tried wings yet here in Buffalo? If so, where? Josh wants to know.
Anchor Bar, and a million times. I think every time we came here on the road, I'd always order from Anchor Bar, and we'd get it in the dressing room. And I think my first night here, that was the first thing I ordered was pizza and wings. So.
Well, our mutual friend Kevin Weeks would say that Chef's is a bit of a go-to as well. Did you spend?
Chef's, I got to
no?
try that.
Okay. All right. Take that as you need to get.
Any suggestions?
Okay, sounds good. Ranch or blue cheese, obviously, is also a standard question. Brian offers that.
I like to dabble in a little bit of both, but I'd go blue cheese.
Most memorable NHL game so far? John wants to know.
My most memorable NHL game would probably have to be my first one. Played against the San Jose Sharks, at the Shark Tank. 20 years old, kind of just sitting there looking at Joe Thornton and Patrick Marleau, like thinking, what did I got myself into? That was definitely my best moment.
And they're still playing.
Yeah, I know, seriously. I'm 12 years into this, and I think at that point they were 12 years into it. So, both those guys, ultimate professionals.
Yeah, they were top of the class from the draft in 1997. We are here at the Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, Fearless Family Zone at KeyBank Center. Stop by. Hey, there's only a few remaining home games. We want you to get down here and create your own hockey trading cards and record your favorite Sabres memories. We continue with Wayne Simmonds. Favorite sport other than hockey? Joshua wants to know.
Basketball or baseball. I played both growing up. Mm-hmm. So.
What do you think you were better at?
I would say basketball, but my dad would say baseball.
What position in baseball?
Third base.
Wow.
Yeah.
Good hitter?
I was one of those guys, get singles, doubles, I'd run it out.
Yeah.
Yeah, I was a pretty good runner. I did track too, so,
yeah.
I just try to crank it through the infield and, just run as fast as I could.
Very good. Favorite city to travel to during the season? Thanks to Paul for the question.
My favorite city I would have to say Chicago. I enjoy Chicago a lot. I don't know what it is about it. They got great food. Playing in the United Center is unbelievable. The anthem, just when they're playing the anthem, just gives you chills. Everyone's standing up and clapping, and they got that old organ going, so it's something special. Amazing.
The tradition there, and it never changes. The anthem's special for sure. Josh wants to know, why did you pick 17?
So the whole reason I picked 17, when I first went to Owen Sound, I wanted to be number 18. Mike Richards was my favorite player growing up. So I always watch him. Every Sunday they always have the Kitchener Rangers on or some OHL game. And, Richie was my favorite player. So I went into Owen Sound. I wanted 18, but someone on our team had 18. So next closest number was 17, and I've just stuck with it.
And then you played with Richards at some point, did you not?
No.
Did you miss them both?
I got traded.
You missed them both?
Okay,
right.
So summer 2000.
Right by the draft, right?
Yeah. I got traded for him, and it was actually pretty surreal. But pretty cool.
Absolutely. That's crazy. Are you going to join Bill's Mafia now?
So I think being from Toronto, I think it's natural to be a Buffalo Bills fan. I don't really have an allegiance for NFL team. I'd have to say I'm an Argos fan, but I can definitely get into this Bills Mafia thing, 100%.
All right, perfect way to end it. Wayne, thanks so much, and thanks to Blue Cross Blue Shield of Western New York, the official healthcare plan of the Buffalo Sabres. Busy week for the Sabres, and of course, Winefest happens here on Thursday night, home to the Bruins on Friday. We'll see you then.